What is it about shows starring criminals that makes it so hard for us to look away from? Ozark, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, this show Ripley. There's something about watching a show with a criminal that just makes it so interesting. You just really want to watch more of it. We can't get enough of it. Does that mean that humans have a natural curiosity to do the wrong thing? Okay, so Ripley is a new show that just came out on Netflix. It stars Andrew Scott, Dakota Fanning, and Johnny Flynn. This is based on a novel by Patricia Highsmith, and it is directed by Steven Zaillian. I hope I said his name right. Either way, this guy is a very talented director, and I'm super curious to see what he comes out with next, because this show is very, very interesting. It very much held my interest, and it kept me watching the episodes in record time, actually. Let's dig in. First things first, I have to say the most impressive thing that I noticed right away from this show is the cinematography. This show has such beautiful camera work. Every shot feels meticulously chosen. There's not a single camera angle that feels like it's not done for a particular reason. I kept looking at all the different shots, thinking I was seeing foreshadowing, looking for clues, trying to figure out what was going on. I loved the way it was filmed. And so when I first saw the black and white art on the cover, I was like, do I really want to watch a black and white TV show? Yes, it turned out it was well worth my time, and I was honestly mostly curious about watching it. Like, I wasn't letting the black and white hold me up too much because of the fact that I saw Andrew Scott in it, and something about the Italy setting really intrigued me. But yes, the show is in black and white, so you have to be okay with that while you're watching it. But trust me, the black and white is not going to distract you. It is used very effectively, and it seems like the perfect way for this show to be presented. We're experiencing old Italy in this show, and so what better way to do it but with black and white? And like I said, the cinematography is spectacular. It is one of the most noteworthy things. That's why it's the first thing I'm mentioning. And I also thought the Atmos track in the show was spectacular. There were sounds just coming all around you. The height channels are used a lot. The surrounds are used a lot. The sounds in the show were perfectly captured to make you feel extremely immersed in this environment. You'll see scenes where you're just hearing the sound of somebody walking across a stone pathway, or the sound of a rickety elevator in the distance. Just a lot of different use of the surrounds, and it perfectly complemented this beautifully filmed show. Andrew Scott does a remarkable job playing a piece of shit con man in the show. He's charming yet super unlikable, but you cannot look away. You just want to see more. He's a talented actor. I don't know if you guys have seen the show Sherlock that was on BBC. It had Benedict Cumberbatch, but he played Moriarty in that show. And ever since then, he made it pretty clear that he is a very talented actor. It was really cool to see him headlining this show. He doesn't get a lot of starring roles, and I thought he did a very good job. Dakota Fanning was very enticing to watch as well. This girl is someone I've watched since she was a little girl. She was part of my childhood. Watching this actress was part of my childhood, and I thought she did a very good job in this show. She comes off as a very skeptical person. She looks so different. She just kind of has like a bitchy look, to be honest, but that suits this character very well because she is very suspicious of Andrew Scott's character in this show, and she wears that on her face almost the entire time. I thought she was very compelling, very interesting. Another standout actor in the show is Maurizio Lombardi, who plays a very suave detective who is just so magnetic to watch. He's sitting around smoking cigarettes. He's trying to solve crimes. He has a very magnetic personality to him. I love his accent. It is so soothing to listen to. Honestly, I find the Italian language in general to be one of my favorite languages in the world. I was fascinated every time this guy was on screen. He was a very good actor and definitely a standout. I would watch more of this guy's stuff in a heartbeat. I thought he was super energizing. I'm not going to give away any spoilers in this video, but there are some surprising cameos in this show. Some actors that I was not expecting to see, but I was super excited to see them. I was like, oh my gosh, that's spoiler, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but yeah, I was really pleased with some of these cameos. I liked this cast. I thought everything about the show, the cast, the filming, the directing, all very, very enticing, all very well done. The music in the show was composed by Jeff Russo, who I believe did the music for the House of Cards series. He's a very talented composer, but what I really thought was awesome about the show was the show's director knowing when to use score music and when to just have silence. A lot of times, there's just scenes where you don't hear much, like I said, and that silence It really stands out. I think the silence is a character just as much as the cinematography is a character, just as much as the Atmos and the surrounds and the audio is a character. There is a lot going on to this movie besides the actors. This show was hard to look away from. It was very easy to binge. Maybe it's because I just recently lost my job, so I have a lot of time on my hands now, but I watched the first 7 episodes of the show all in one day. And that is almost 7 hours of television. And I finished the next episode the next day. And I think one of the reasons that I was so enticed was because I wanted to find out what was going to happen. Like, I wanted this guy to get caught. He is a piece of shit. It is addicting to watch a bad guy, but also part of the addiction is just waiting to see them get caught because you want to see justice get served. I wasn't really rooting for this guy. I was sitting there the entire time thinking, man, they need to catch this guy. He is so annoying. Why does he keep eluding people? That kept me going. That kept me coming back for more. It kept me watching the next episode. And also, by the way, I didn't feel like this show felt like I was watching a TV series. It is a mini series, by the way. This is a one and done kind of thing, but it didn't really feel like I was watching a TV series. It felt like I was watching a very, very long movie. Because the way each episode ended and the next episode began, it felt like I wasn't watching the next episode, but rather the next scene. Maybe I had an interlude. Maybe there was a black cutout, but it felt like I was watching the next scene because the scenes flow into each other perfectly. You don't feel like you're watching the next episode. At least I didn't. So guys, as I've made clear, I really enjoyed Ripley. I thought this show was addicting. It was hard to put down. Andrew Scott was a very good bad guy. I just liked all the different actors. I loved seeing Dakota Fanning. The cinematography just really pulled me in. From the moment the show started, I knew I was in for something special. It really kept me going. So for me, I would give this show a 10 out of 10. I thought it was a masterpiece. I would watch the show again. And I would definitely watch more from this director because I think he has a great eye for vision. I think he knows how to build up a scene. I think he knows how to just keep you interested and keep you wanting more. I wanted to see this guy get caught, but I was also just really enjoying my trip to Italy. I've been wanting to go my whole life, and maybe this show is the closest I'll ever come. I'm not sure, but I feel like part of me got that visit that I was wanting. So that is my thoughts on the show. And overall, I think that if you like a good artsy kind of show, if you like artsy movies, I think you'll really like the show. If you need constant action and you need some kind of big explosion to be happening every other scene, well, you're probably better off watching something like Godzilla x Kong because this show will probably bore you. What did you think? Did you watch this show? Do you plan on watching the show? Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you liked this video, please let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more things from me, please subscribe to my channel. And that's everything I have to say. Until the next time, later.